The technique of the week today would be grasp of death. This technique is against a headlock. So what happens here is that as the opponent's trying to get you into a headlock, or he's getting you in a headlock, what we're going to be doing here is this, because as the opponent's pulling in, he's really pulling you forward. So what we want to be able to do is take a step with your right side, with the right foot forward. But as we do this, we want to be sure that we do two things. We want to kind of be able to turn the head a little bit to the side, tucking your chin. And then the other thing is that we want to be able to go into a close kneel stance. Right as we do this, then from here, we want to go right ahead and pinch right behind the knee. Okay, with the left side is the right hand checks. So what we're doing, we're stepping forward. You turn to the side, you anchor your elbow, you pinch, you go into a close kneel stance, and then right from here, we take a second step, basically to 1030. You bring the opponent down, then vertical punch right into the temple, and then from there, you cover out into a 5 instance, up to 430. So I'll do that one more time. So I'm here. So the opponent gets into a headlock. We step forward with the right side. As you step forward, you go into a close kneel stance. You got to remember that you want to cover so the opponent doesn't discover an opening. So what we're doing is that we step forward, we turn to the side, we step forward with the right side, then we take a second step with the left side, and then right vertical punch, and then we cover out into a right neutral pose. So again, when he comes in and he gets in a headlock, I want to control the arm, step forward, go into the close kneel stance, pinch, take a second step here with the left side as I bring the opponent down, punch, and then from there, just covering up, okay? I'll do that one more time. So as he grabs, I step forward, control the arm, pinch, close kneel stance, take a second step, right vertical punch, and then cover out in a 5 instance. And that would be the grasp of it. The thing that we need to keep in mind with these 10 techniques for yellow belt is that if we divide the techniques in half, we got 5 and 5. Okay, so from the lay sword to capture twigs, those would be the first 5, and then from grasp of death to sword and hammer, that would be the next 5. The interesting thing with the first 5 techniques is that the step that we take, the first step is done with the left side. As a matter of fact, the first 3 techniques, we go right ahead and step to 6 o'clock. When we start doing deflecting hammer, then we begin to angle off to basically 7:30. And then when we go right ahead and do capture twigs, then we step again with the left side to 9 o'clock. Okay. Now, even when I do that, when I do capture twigs, I check with the left as I strike with the right. Okay. Well, what I'm doing here, which is the next technique, grasp of that, now I'm checking with the right, and then I'm stepping with the right. So now the opposite of stepping with the left is stepping with the right. So basically from technique 6 through 10, now we're stepping with the right side. But as I was mentioning earlier, it's also the one, you check with the left, which is capture twigs, grasp of death, you go right ahead and you step with the right side. The other thing that I think is important to mention is that now we have gone through the first 7 techniques. And what we're really doing in the first 7 techniques, what Mr. Parker wanted to do here is introduce the student to the web of knowledge, okay? And the web of knowledge is what it's doing is introducing the student from the most simple attack to the most complex. And if we look at what is the most simple attack, the most simple attack would be a grab or a tackle. So if we look at all the number 1 techniques up to green belt, and it goes all the way through up to second brown, but from third and second brown, it still follows the web in a slightly different way, is that all the techniques, basically they're grabs, okay, all the number 1 techniques. Then we say, well, what is a little bit more dangerous than a grab? Then it's a push. Okay, so now if we look at all the number 2 techniques up to green belt, they're all push techniques. Then if we go right ahead and say, well, what would be a little bit more dangerous than a push? Then we can say it's a punch. Okay, in a punch, all the number 3 techniques, again, up to green belt, they're all punch techniques. Then what's a little bit more dangerous than a punch? Then we can say it's a kick. Then all the number 4 techniques up to green belt are all kick techniques. And then what's a little bit more dangerous than a kick? Then we can say it's either a hold or a hug. And we got to remember that a hold is nothing more than a grab, just with more control. Okay, and this is what makes it a little bit more dangerous than a grab, and this is why it's in category number 5. Okay, so basically that would be all the number 5 techniques after green belt. And then what's a little bit more dangerous than a hold and a hug, then we can say a choke and a lock. And basically, again, you know, all the number 6 techniques, they can either be chokes or they can either be locks. And then basically all the number 7 techniques, with the exception to orange belt, they're all weapon techniques, okay? So orange belt is our only belt that does not have any weapon techniques. So by us learning the first 7 techniques of yellow belt, what we're actually doing, we're introducing the student to the web of knowledge, okay? I'd like to thank you for watching our videos, okay? Have a good day.